Hey guys, welcome to Movement Monday for another week. So today we're going to carry on the theme of mobility within the shoulders that we did a couple of weeks ago, and today we're going to do the dislocates. Now they sound pretty painful and pretty horrible, and they may look a bit strange and a bit awkward, and some may find them quite awkward actually to do, obviously because they are in a very vulnerable area. Obviously the shoulder is a ball and socket joint just like the hips. And obviously with that comes great mobility and great movement, but obviously greater potential for dislocation and injury. So whenever you're training shoulders, hips and all the rest of it, then you obviously have to be fairly careful with the range of movements that you do. But obviously the fact is that they should be able to move full range, and the dislocate really is a good marker of that in terms of how mobile you are in your shoulders, and how much work you might need to actually be doing with them. So it's a good sort of tester really, as well as being a very good actual movement to improve mobility in the shoulders from there. So we'll bring you in here and we'll just go through it from there. So the idea really, with the dislocate is that you're taking the sort of the shoulder joint all the way through the range of movement, all the way around, all the way back through. So it gives you an opportunity to sort of stretch out any tight areas in there if you're obviously using it as part of a warm-up. And if you're just basically testing your mobility, then obviously it gives you an opportunity to range from there. So the dislocate in itself, you want to get a nice wide grip, utilising a stick or PVC pipe really is going to be the best thing for this. But you can use a band, you can use, I've used a scarf at home and stuff like that, so it's not really, it doesn't need to be a solid stick like this. It just needs to be a bit of material you can hold on to and go over the head with. But these sort of sticks, the PVC pipes and everything else are better for it. So the idea, nice wide grip from there, you then raise overhead, keeping your arms straight all the way through, and then go all the way around to the back, okay? Then come back over, set it back in. So from a side view, sitting from there, okay, go all the way over, try and touch the back and back over to the front. As you're doing this, probably the best tip we can use for you to make sure that you're staying nice and stable on those shoulders, I like to just shrug the shoulders a bit. So what you're actually going to try and do is shrug the shoulders, you get that upper back nice and tight, and then raise the bar overhead and then touch the back, keeping that upper back nice and tight all the way through the movement. It just keeps you a bit more stable on those shoulders and allows you that full range from there. If you struggle with getting over the head and touching the back, then you need to go a bit wider probably. So go as wide as you can. If you need to, go as far out as wider to the end of the pole, all the way around the back and all the way from there. Okay, if you're pretty good in your mobility in your shoulders, you can go a bit closer. Okay. And the idea then is that you're going to start testing the full ranges all the way around, and as you get a bit more used to it, you just go tighter and tighter into it. And as you can see there, I'm finding that now a bit of a struggle due to tight shoulders myself. But that's where you're going to try and find your range. And the idea really is, as you get better, as you do it more, you should be able to get closer and closer. It's not to say that you should be getting to a point where you can go close as you possibly can. But obviously the closer the better, because it shows greater mobility in that area, in that region for the shoulder. Okay, so that's the dislocate from there. As I say, it can be used with multiple pieces of equipment as long as you can hold on to both ends. Bands are really good for this one, because what they allow for is that tightness in the shoulder. Basically the band will obviously stretch and move to your mobility basically. So they're good to use in terms of if you're a beginner at them, or if you are not very mobile in the shoulder. It allows that bit of slack from there. But really the idea is to utilise that. Generally I would say in your warm-ups you do sort of 1 to 3 sets of 10 reps of those, and that's going to really just get the shoulder moving around from there. Obviously if you feel pain or if it's massively discomforting, don't do the movement, but it should be something that's part of your arsenal really, just to test out and make sure you can move through those full ranges in the shoulder. So that's the band or the bar dislocate there. As I say, warm-up's really good. You can throw them in as active rest as well if you are trying to work on your shoulder mobility whilst doing something like a lower body dominant movement or a pulling dominant movement. Generally they'll be okay for that. but you don't want anything that really is going to, you know, if you're taxing the shoulders already doing an upper body movement, then they're not going to be the best because they'll probably fatigue, you know, people's upper body and make it quite difficult to do the movement you're going to do. So just stick to them as warm up or active rest on lower body days, and that will hit the nail on the head, guys. Hope you enjoyed that one. Next week we're going to go through a couple more landmine movements, and just so happens that Pete has decided that he wanted to buy a landmine bit of kit as well, which is perfect. So we'll get to show you some landmine pressing next week and take it forward from there, guys. Just be awesome, guys. Have a great week, and I'll see you through the week from there. Catch you there.